destruction because of the expectation I had for this fight. Because Lupin made me think he was so tough because of the beating he took off Fundora. I was like, man, I know Virgil don't really got one punch like that, so it might take a minute. It took him 2 rounds.
Yeah. It was real easy for Virgil. When I seen it, I was like, wow, I thought it was gonna go the distance. I thought or it was gonna be stopped late. I'm with you, Alex. But I did question the punch resistance of
Mm-hmm.
Lubin. I was been saying that to everybody, all the wars he's been in. I said, is this the type of fight that we want to see him in? Man, that was horrible. That was horrible.
Yeah. No
You got something
controversy.
to say, Vamp?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you, Vin. How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Good. Sorry, I thought I was waiting for my cue, but yeah, bro, I was disappointed. I can't lie, bro. I stayed up for that fight. I don't know, like, I don't know what time it was over there, but yeah, it was 4 a.m. waiting up for that fight, and then yeah, he got touched up a little bit, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, you didn't even really see, but you can see the way that he got knocked out. Like you see the bang, the guard manipulation, the shot came in and just out on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Yeah. Now, after seeing that, right? I looked at both fights. You know what I'm saying? Because the cameraman he shot straight to Boots. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He shot straight to Boots. Um, what do you think when you see that reaction?
Mm.
What do you think Boots was thinking Alexander the Great? Because when that happened, right, I had a like one of those deja vu moments, and I'm gonna tell you the moment that I had. When you seen that after that knockout, and they went straight to Boots. What was you thinking? That Boots was thinking.
You know, at first I was thinking Boots was probably like, man, he did it 2 rounds. I did my last guy in one, so you still ain't better than me. But I think he would. I think he knew something we didn't with Lubin, like Lubin's punch resistance. Well, besides you, Trill, because you know all Mister Nostradamus. But I think he knew that Lubin would be in for a tough fight. I doubt he expected it to be over that quick, but I think he's excited for a fight down the line with Ortiz.
I mean, yeah. Same question to you, Vin.
Um, I don't really, to be honest. What did you wait? Repeat the question. What did I think Boots was thinking?
Yeah, because after the knockdown, this is what I'm gonna do for you. You know what I'm saying?
Who in the play?
I feel privileged to have.
Is he trying to rope a dope here, Sergio? What do you think he's thinking? Oh, he's hurt. He's out on his feet. They stopped the fight. Virgil Ortiz, just like that. That was a.
Yeah,
And the cameraman went straight to Boots.
that's what he was there for.
Smiling, and he was like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's ready. He looks ready. He looks like he's ready for it. I don't know, man. The comments coming after, like, it seems like Virgil's team's talking about other fights and other things and that. But Boots, like, he seems like he was really ready. So yeah.
Now that moment, right when I seen that, I seen the knockout happen, and when they shot to Boots, and Boots was smiling, and they was like, "Oh, he got him over there," But they was trying to make it seem, the commentators were trying to make it seem like it was something else. It reminded me of when Matisse stopped Lamont, and they went right to Garcia. So I was,
That's a good shout.
yeah. So I was like, oh man, like, are they trying to make it seem like Boots is scared or something like that? But Boots, he's been fighting his whole life. He came there for a reason. He came to there for a reason because he wanted to make the fight happen. What do you see next for Ortiz, Alexander the Great?
What I think is going to be next for Virgil Ortiz, I don't think it's going to be the Boots fight. And I said this leading into the fight. What I would like to see is not Virgil versus Boots with no belt on the line. I need to see like a real world title on the line for that kind of fight, because it would just make it worthwhile. Besides just two top guys fighting, which is good in itself. But what I think they're going to try to do next is unfortunately they're going to try to dig up the grave of Earl Spence Jr. and have him fight Virgil Ortiz next.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that would be some dirty work. I wouldn't want to see that at all.
No.
No. What about you, Vin? What do you see next for Virgil Ortiz?
Yeah, I can't disagree. Like after that fight, I thought I could answer this question and say Boots, right? After that fight, but since then, yeah, like it looks like I'd go with Alexander the Great because they're saying that Spence, this is the biggest fight we could do. Dream to make this fight in the Texas Stadium, and then I saw another post. And then I saw another post about a guy saying, I believe that's the promoter. You're saying I'm not speaking about this fight. I need 7 digits to even speak about this fight or something. Somebody seen that?
Yeah, that was Ortiz's trainer.
What kind of madness is that, bro? Why do you need 7 digits to even speak about the fight? Yeah, it's going a certain way. So I don't believe this fight is next. I believe, yeah, it's going to be something else, it seems.
Yeah, it's the Tyson Fury method of pay me this and then double it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a question that I had asked before, right? This is off the subject. Right now with boxing, there's a lot of exciting fights, right? Yep. And there's a lot of exciting fighters. Like Alexander, 3 fighters. I need to know 3 fighters, like right now, just off the record. 3 fighters that you can't miss. Like, you got the job going and you got to be at work. But if these 3 fighters is on, you're going to make every possible way to watch these fights, Alexander. Who's the 3 guys that you're trying to watch, no matter what?
Naoya Inoue, Virgil Ortiz Jr., and Anthony Joshua for me.
Good.
What's up, Vam? Talk to me.
3 fighters I want to watch live.
Yep.
Therefore, AJ, you put me off guard, man. You got me.
Yeah, and then no matter what, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. No matter what you're doing, you gotta stop everything you're doing and you gotta watch them.
They fighting, you watching.
That's a lot of boxers, man. Moses Itoma. Chris Eubank Jr. They're my favorite boxers, though.
I ain't mad at it.
Nah.
What about you, Trill?
Good question. You know what I'm saying? Nah, 3 fighters, no matter what they do, and I gotta sit there and I gotta stop. I gotta watch. Right now, I see like all the fighters that I came up watching, they all are fading out. So right now, if I could go for if I gotta see them right now, I gotta make sure I gotta see that young kid, Abdullah Mason. Whenever that young man, I gotta make sure that I'm locked in for that young man. Another fighter I gotta make sure no matter what. Another young man, but he doesn't fight often. The young man Tiger. I'm impressed by him.
Tiger Johnson.
I'm impressed by him.
Okay.
Yeah. And now the young man, and I gotta give it to the young man, Moses. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the young men, I gotta give it up for them, man. Because all the older guys, they tend to, the Crawfords and everybody, they're leaving.
Yeah.
That must be cold though. You've watched entire careers of some of these fighters.
Yeah,
Right?
some of these fighters, man. I've been watching boxing for a while now, man. I look young, pretty old. you know, I got a chance to see a lot of rise of a lot of fighters to the ending of their careers. Like yeah, even for like Tank. I want to talk about Tank for example. How did you gentlemen feel when Jake called off this fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the excuse that he gave for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talk to me, Alex. I see you smiling, Vamp.
Well, I'll let Vamp go first.
Oh, really?
I was giving him a second. I was giving Vamp a second.
I think I need a second, bro.
I see him smiling. That's why I wanted to give him a second. Talk
All
to me,
right.
Alex.
All right. Well, I was happy the fight got called off because I wasn't going to watch it anyway. I would have caught the highlight of what happened afterwards. But as for the reason Jake gave, it's total BS. Like, as Roy Jones Jr. said himself, he's like, we've known Tank's past with this kind of stuff. So it's not the reason why you called it off. It's just, hey, you found a reason you wanted to have some good PR because you champion yourself as the promoter of women's boxing. Look at all the girls you sign and all the fights that you have on your cards, which is a good thing. But don't pretend, Jake. This was a business decision, not a ethical decision.
Exactly. I was saying the same thing when he dropped that. I was like, yo, how are you going to say that you're not going to do a fight with a woman beater and you did a whole fight with a can't say that word, but we get a strike for the R word, but you know what I'm saying?
Mental.
Yeah, but you did a fight with a guy with one of the worstest crimes towards possibly, and then you give this excuse why you don't want to work with Tank. So I'm with you on that, Alexander the Great. Vamp, talk to me. How did you feel when you heard that the fight was called off?
I can't lie. I was gonna watch it. I can't say the same as Alex. I was gonna watch it because I was intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
What happens now? Jake Paul is in a fight with an actual boxer that's live, and I don't know what is Tank. Is Tank? What's Tank doing in the ring with somebody that size? What does that look like? How is he gonna throw his shots? What happens when he hits him? I wanted to see that. So it wasn't anything other than the intrigue that I missed out. I knew it would be a clown show, and it does seem like that. And what Alex said is right, because what Jake Paul's saying is never going to wash, because all of this stuff was already out there that Tank did. This is like however many strikes there is. So I don't really get on what basis he can come out and say that he won't do a fight with this guy because of this, because you planned this whole thing. He had years of these cases coming up, so surely it would have already been a red flag. Like, this new thing isn't something. I believe that the fight probably wasn't doing that well. It was probably going to take not a huge loss or something, but I just don't think that they was making it was looking the way it was going, and they just wanted a way out. That's what it seems to me.
Yeah, because people are speculating on why the fight was canceled. Many are saying it's due to low ticket sales. Do you think Tank's star power took a hit due to the outcome of the Lamont fight, man?
Yeah, and I think generally because he needed something now. Like a lot of the time, time is going. You start to realize, Tank. There's a lot of fights that are missing Tank now. And it's like, where does he go? Because when it was the Roach fight, I think loads of boxers are starting to call Tank's name. And the more he's not taking none of the bait from none of the boxers, and he's fighting Lamont Roach, all right, we expected him to knock him out, right? Lamont Roach came up. Didn't knock him out. The fight went a certain way. He took a knee in the ring. We all know what happened. So that was definitely hurting. We're supposed to rematch him, right? Okay, right, you're wrong, bro. Nah, we get Jake Paul. So... And then that was bad. Maybe if he came off the back of the Ryan Garcia win, he went to fight Jake Paul when he was flying like that, it would have been crazy. Off the back of seeing it's already a little bit questionable. You had something to prove against Lamont Roach, and you basically kind of swerve the rematch, to fight Jake Paul, and then
Yeah,
not even getting that fight.
yeah, Alex. Same question to you. Do you think his reputation? Because a lot of people speculating as the ticket sales is the reason why the fight was really canceled. Do you think it's because Gervonta Davis, his star power took a hit with the Lamar Roach fight?
His star power definitely took a hit, and Vamp put it very well. But the the big thing that really hurt Tank wasn't just the fact that he went to the draw with Lamont Roach. It's as Vamp said, he did not give Roach the rematch. He just said, no, that's not what's gonna happen next. That's not what we got planned next." It's like, what, mother, you got embarrassed in front of your crowd, in front of your fans. But Tank fans are delusional either way. They're always going to be there to support him, but there's it just proves that a lot of those fans may have been fair weather because they saw one bit of resistance in the ring and they moving on.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Take fans, a lot of Take fans are saying the reason, the conspiracy theory is not because of the ticket sales trip. They're saying it's because Jake was scared of Tank not following the script. They said
I
that.
hear it.
Yeah, I've been hearing it from the Fair Boys. They were saying Tank's been saying he wasn't gonna follow the script that was written. He really was gonna go in there. He was gonna put those paws on Jake, and that's why the fight was canceled. So, what do you think about the fanboys, the Tank fanboys who say that?
Tap fanboys are hilarious, bro. So they is what it is. I don't know. Somebody confirm something though. Is there some sort of video footage? I heard about there being footage of this kind of incident with Tank. Is there or isn't there?
What incident?
Of the one
Whatever
he's
the
currently being accused of, no, but you can see a very similar incident at a celebrity basketball game.
Oh yeah,
Tank grabbed up the woman he was with aggressively, was yelling at her, and would dragged her out of the freaking arena.
that wasn't new though, right?
No, that wasn't new. That's what's being alleged again in a different location and with this new case. But they don't. They say they have footage of it, but they have not released it to the public yet because it was in a strip joint.
Oh god. Okay. I don't know because that just kind of changes things.
yeah. I mean, so it said the fight's not off. The fight's off because the people were saying that Jake is scared because he wasn't gonna stick to the script.
If there's footage, if there's real footage of that, I could just say, "Yo, okay." But if there's no footage, then I could kind of run with that a little bit. Maybe I could maybe give them a little bit. But outside of that, it's just like, what are you doing there, Tank? Anyway, man.
What do you think, Alex? What do you think of the fanboys saying that Jake was just scared of Tank? That's why the fight's off.
Listen, the Tank fanboys very rarely have a point, and they still don't have one here. There's not a script like. Listen, I would take any opportunity to hate on Jake Paul, but there's not a script where Tank was gonna allow Jake to survive the distance. Tank to if you listen to Eddie Hearn, you don't even think he can read. You're just gonna the fight. I don't even want to speak about this. It's pissing me off, and I'm twisting over my words right now. But no, the fan whites don't have a point. It wasn't because Tank wasn't going to follow a script. It was if you were going to think anything, you were just afraid that Jake was going to get his ass beat, and that's why he called off the fight. But Jake's braver than most people think in terms of he wasn't afraid of Tank because he looked at him and was like, man, he's smaller than my stomach. How am I going to lose this fight?
Yeah, I feel you. I'm looking at shout out to everybody that's watching right now. I don't be understanding these numbers. These numbers will be huge, and then I go on certain, and then it'd be maybe because it's all at one, and these numbers be scattered out. Because the numbers don't be making sense sometimes. But shout out to everybody that's locked in with me right now, and Alex and Vamp. We're locked in right now, just chopping it up about the sport that we love so much. That's boxing, and I appreciate you guys. Before matter of fact, we was talking about the fanboys. Yeah, I got a question. off topic, but we're talking about fanboys and fans of the sport. Alex, what do you think is the difference? Because we just talked about Tank fanboys and fans of, but what do you think is the difference between a fanboy and a fan?
Simple answer: objectivity. Because when you can separate yourself from the fighter you like, for example, I used to be, and I feel ashamed to admit this somewhat, but I was a big fan of Tyson Fury. Because when he came back with that, the story of coming back from depression, and he
Mm-hmm.
was fighting Deontay Wilder, who was knocking everybody out, I bought into it, and it's his public persona and how he was acting seemed in line with who he said he was. But then, as soon as he got some of that success back, he started doing all these funny business moves where he was like, nah, you have to sign the contract now, AJ, right now, otherwise there's no fight. No, you can't get your lawyers to look at it. You know what I mean? He was just moving too funny, and I was just like, hey, listen, this isn't how a fighter should act. But fanboys will say, nah, he's fully within his rights. We worship the very ground this man graces us with. Look at his shiny bald head. How could we ever say no? And it's the same with the Tank fanboys. Remember, Trill, in one of those group chats we're in where someone posted that video about the guy who was like, Tank, I know they hating on you. I know there ain't nothing from this. I'm gonna support you no matter what. That's delusional. So fanboys cannot be objective. That's the big difference.
Yeah. Same question to you, Vin.
Yeah, Alex put it perfectly, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with Alex 100%. I just want to know if you had your own
Well,
take on it.
yeah, Alex he kind of got it, but it's like that. You can kind of like when people like you can just look at like Usyk, right? Sometimes I'm still having arguments with people about Tyson Fury and Usyk about Usyk not being the best and stuff, and like that's how you separate fanboys from fans. Like when somebody does a job on every single heavyweight and people are still going, oh, but this guy might have done, you know what I'm saying? Like when something like that, oh, you have to be a fanboy to do that. But yeah, it's either or. But what can you say? Alex kind of put it perfectly for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Really,
Before we go any farther, you know what I'm saying? Usually I start the show off with, you know what I'm saying? But as you said, as you know, I was a little bit off, you know, because we was chopping it up before we went on air. And usually we start the show off with, you know, the intro, and then I have a word from my sponsors. But I was so relaxed, and I was just because this is what I do on here. I chop it up like we outside, we just kicking it. You know what I mean? So we got to do, I have a word from my sponsors. So shout out to D-Rock Clothing. Yeah. You already know. Shout out to D-Rock Clothing. And don't forget, man, you can go ahead and download my new joint, Trofiki. Bow, you see the Q code right there next to me. It's out now on all streaming services, and you can download Savage also. Bow, right there. You know what I'm saying? So give you time. Boom, that's Trofiki. So give you time to download that. And then you download Savage. Take that off. Now I'm gonna download Savage. Bow. By hitting that right there. You see how smooth that was, man? And yeah, that's out right now. And the video's coming soon. And the video for Trophy is out right now on YouTube. Just tap in Ray Trilogy, Trilogy. And we're locked in. I got my bros in here with me, Viv and Alexander the Great. Yeah, guys, what's next? Now that the fight is off with Jake, what do you think is next for Tank? You know what I'm saying? Do you think he should revisit the fight with Lamont Roach and get some respect put back on his name? Well, how you feeling?
Who's that for?
Either one.
Oh, Alex.
All right. So that would be the best choice of action because that's where this all started with Tank's popularity taking that hit because of the draw. So if you right that wrong like you should have done, if you were about it like that, because sorry to go off on a little side tangent right here, but Tank I can't fault Tank for not taking the rematch because Tank has never said that he wanted to be the best. He always said he wanted to make the most money. So he tried to go with the money with Jake Paul, but now it's time to get some respect back. That way you can go get a big bag after it. So you would have to fight Roach next, in my opinion.
What do you think, Van?
Roach, yeah, I think anybody like just a big name, just put him in a big fight, have a big fight, have a big win, and he's back. Of course, ideally you'd want Roach, right? But who's Roach about to fight? Pitbull, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what's going to happen with there. If Roach doesn't look good there, if Roach maybe loses that fight, which he easily can, right? There's not going to be that much clamor for Tank to beat Roach and prove that point. Like Tank just needs to come back and have a big fight. It's been a minute now. You know, the Ryan Garcia, that was a huge fight. Since then, he beat Frank Martin. And I believe, was there anyone between Frank Martin and Roach? Was there anybody? Or was it Frank Martin then Roach?
I think it was Frank Martin then Roach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he just needs to have a big fight. Loads of these fighters have called him out. Keyshawn, Shakur, etc., etc. Some, but just have a big fight with one of these guys, put them to sleep. You're the man. The fan base is there. They're ready for it. They're just begging for him to prove it, to do something. So yeah, man.
He says fans already think that he's, you know what I mean?
It's already in place. He just hasn't. He just can't. He just doesn't deliver. He's going to have to fight Jake Paul and shit. So.
Yeah, I mean, his last after Lamar, it went Frank Martin. Before that, it was Ryan Garcia. Before that, it was
Hector Garcia.
And then before that was Rolly. Before that, Pitbull. Before that, was Barrios. Before that was Leo Santa Cruz. Before that was Gamboa.
Yeah, good run. Good run.
Yeah, that was, you know, is that a respectable run to you guys?
Of course, but it's I mean like recent.
Do you think that he don't get credit for that? Do you think people are harsh on Tank? When you look at these last fights that started from Gamboa, Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, Rolly, Garcia, Ryan, Frank Martin. Do you think people are a little harsh when they talk about Tank Davis and his resume? Do they be like, oh, because you know a lot of people like to say, oh, he ain't fight nobody, but you know he got Pedraza on there as well.
Yeah, because I've not. You might know more than me, but I believe that for a long, long time his name was put next to that Lomachenko or something like. It's supposed to be building up to fight Lomachenko, and a lot of the time when you're building up to fight somebody else, a lot of the time everyone that you fight in between that's going to get overlooked. So from what I've seen, a lot of the time there was a lot of Loma talks between all of them. Floyd used to say it. Loma came out in the public and said it a few times. There was a lot of talk all the time. So I believe building up to that and eventually not getting the fight when he was supposedly ready, you know, I think Loma's that's why I believe like not building up to that, not getting that has meant that he kind of built up to not that. So I believe that when you just said those names, it's like, oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. Good wins, bro. He built his name. He built his way up to this point. But that mega fight, because that mega fight wasn't there. Well, that's why it looks a bit harsher, I think.
Yeah, it's been rumored Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson in late January. How you think that plays out, Alexander the Great?
How that fight plays out, I think, honestly, I think Teo gets him. I think Teo is too offensively talented. And while Shakur in his last fight showed that he can be on the ropes and he can, win with his back on the ropes instead of just running around the ring and he can stand his ground, I don't think that's going to serve you well with a Teofimo Lopez because Teofimo,
I
for
am
all his
shocked.
shenanigans.
I am shocked, Alexander.
I know, because I really thought about it. If Shakur's going up to Teo. Teo has already been the bigger, stronger, and arguably has just as good a hand speed as Shakur. Maybe he doesn't, but it's an argument you can have. Yeah. Now, Shakur clearly has the better feet, but I think Teo's talent, his innate ability to fight, is going to be able to give Shakur some problems because he gave Lomachenko problems. And I get it. That was Tio a couple years ago, closer to his early 20s than his 30s. But I can't get that out of my head. I thought Loma was, if not the best defensive fighter in the division. Him and Shakur were 1A and 1B, and he lost. Like, you can't even argue that Loma. Like, people have tried, but it was clear that Teofimo took that fight out of Loma's hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as for your first question, like, about was Tank's resume like solid, overrated, or underrated, I think it was solid because he fought guys who went on to do things in the sport, like Mario Barrios. Now, as much as I criticize Mario Barrios, he is a legitimate world champion. Should he still be? That's the other question. But he has beaten good guys, but then people try to gas up that resume to say Tank was the best of all time. And I'm like, it's not that kind of resume. It's not full of Hall of Famers. It's full of guys who are really good fighters, and that's it.
Mm. Yeah, with the Teofimo Lopez, right? That fight. I'm gonna swing it to you, Van, in a second. Um, to me, it's basically, you made a compelling argument, Alexander the Great. You made a compelling argument, but with me, with Tio, I think that this is going to come down to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say about the mind, I just feel like with Tio, sometimes he is he's up and down. It's like a roller coaster,
Yep.
and I believe that he gets into his own head. He's the type of fighter that doubts himself. And I think in there with a guy that is technically sound like a Shakur Stevenson, I feel like he's going to start asking himself certain questions instead of just fighting. Right? He's going to go in there and be like, "Oh, I can outbox Shakur Stevenson," when he should be fighting him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he can fall into that trap, and that's how he can end up losing. But yeah, you made a compelling argument, Vamp. What do you think? How do you think that plays out?
I think it's a 50-50, bro. I don't really yeah, Alex made a compelling argument. I know who I want to win. I can say that immediately, bro. Like, I don't even have to hesitate about that one. But yeah, no, I think both are really talented fighters. It's hard to predict just because Shakur is moving up in weight, and I have to commend that he's moving up in weight to what I believe is a very high level. He's not testing himself out. He's going straight for the fight, and if this fight is really happening, then it's a big fight. So I commend him for it, and I believe he can get it done. But I also believe, yeah, Tio is a really, really talented fighter. And one thing that Alec did say, that Loma fight, yeah, especially the first 6 rounds, man, the shot selection, the counter punching, everything. Yeah, he can be really, on his day, Tio can really, really box as well. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, Tio will fight to the level of his opponent, and we've seen against subpar or mid-level opponents he struggles. But against Josh Taylor and against Lomachenko, he brought out the best. And I think Shakur is that type of fighter who will bring the best out of Teofimo. Doesn't mean he can win, but I would favor Tio to win 60-40.
I'll have to wait a little bit, man. I'd commit to it on way after the weigh-in.
Shout out to my brother, Mr. Neutral, just tapped in with us. Make sure you go and tap out me and check out me and Mr. Neutral show, Fight Night Chronicles. A passionate look back into the history and memorable moments in boxing history. You know what I'm saying? So
you guys just did George Foreman versus Michael Moore.
Yeah, man. And it happened. Yeah, he hit him with that 1-2. That 1-2 was crazy.
It must have been crazy watching that shit live, bro.
Yo, bro,
that split Moore's gum shield in half.
Yo.
But it didn't even look like he hit it that hard. It was just like 2, 1 at a time, right? Pap, pap, then pap, pap. Like, it didn't look like he put much into it.
Man,
Man,
Mm-hmm.
power, man.
yo,
Flipping.
that was crazy, man. This is this night right here, man. You know
Man.
what I'm saying? So shout out to Mr. Neutral. Yeah, man. Yeah, and it happened, man. This was one of those memorable fights. And I remember seeing this, like I was chopping it up with Mr. Neutral. I was telling him I was in the boys' home, you know what I'm saying, when I got a chance to see this fight. And I didn't know how memorable and how historical that this moment was going to be, like so many other fights that I seen
Mm-hmm.
growing up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to Mr. Neutral. And if you haven't seen Fight Night Chronicles, man, I don't know what's going on. You need to tap in. The first episode we did was the Rumble in the Jungle. The second
Mm-hmm.
episode was Foreman versus Moore, when it seemed like, George was the young lion going up against Ali, the favorite, the icon. And then it seemed like Rose was reversed when he went up against Moore. He was the icon, he was the favorite, and Moore was the bitter young rival. So make sure you go and check out those episodes. Now it's time to get to the nitty the gritty. This is where my brother Alexander the Great does his thing. This is tail of the tape, right? This is tail of the tape for Chris Eubank, Honor Ben. You know what I'm saying? So do your thing, Alexander the Great. I'm gonna swing it over to you, and then we're gonna give our predictions, and we're gonna talk about this fight. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Trill. Here we are again for another Tale of the Tape. We got Chris Eubank Jr. on one side versus his rival, Connor Ben. A family history, a family feud. They're fighting twice like their dads did. Maybe we'll see a third one. God, I hope not. But I'm excited for this fight either way. We got Eubank Jr. He's got 35 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draws. He's got 25 wins by knockout, and he's only lost 1 time by knockout, thanks to his granite chin. He stands at 5'11". He's fought from 160 pounds all the way up to super middleweight at 160. He's got a 72-inch reach. He's from Sussex, UK. He's an orthodox boxer. He's 36 years old. Some notable wins he's got on his resume is Conor Benn himself. He beat Liam Smith after getting knocked out by him, and he destroyed him in the rematch. He lost to George Groves, but that was when he was young and he tried to put up a valiant effort. He just got outboxed on the night. He fought Billy Joe Saunders, another young rival. Didn't go his way, but it was a good fight. He beat up Nick Blackwell, and he beat the legend Arthur Abraham. So he's got some good wins on his resume. Eubanks Jr. is a dog. He is a fighter at heart, and he needed it. He needed someone to bring it out of him, like he said. And Conor Brenn brought it out of him, and he wanted that win more than anything. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's a little bit older, but he's a better boxer with a better fundamental IQ. So we're gonna go over to Conor Benn right here. Conor Benn, he's 23. He's got 23 wins. He lost 1 time by decision to Eubank Jr. He's 5'8". He used to fight down at welterweight at a 147, but now he's all the way up to 160. He's got a 68-inch reach. He's from Greenswich, UK. He's an orthodox power puncher. He's 29 years old. He doesn't have as nearly as deep a resume, but Eubank's been in the game for much longer, so that's to be expected. But he did knock out former world champion Chris Algieri, and he did it in impressive one-punch fashion. He beat Samuel Vargas, and he beat Chris Van Heerden and Adrian Granados. That's his resume. It's not the deepest. He's got a good win here or there, but Eubank Jr. is probably the best fighter he has ever fought up to this point, and he's already fought him once. So, like Eubank Jr., Conor Benn is a dog. He is he's a different breed of dog than Eubank. Eubank is I would say he's more of a boxer slash like German Shepherd. He's got discipline and he can focus on the mission to achieve it. But Conor Benn is a pit bull. He will go in there and he will fight. He will throw big bombs as many times as he needs to try to hurt you and take you out. He doesn't care about boxing to decisions. He wants to take you out. He's got faster feet than Eubank, and despite being the smaller man, he has enough power to hurt Eubank Jr. because he rocked him a few times in their first fight. As for how I see this fight going, I called it head on the first time. I called Eubank would win it in the later rounds, going to decision because he was bigger, tougher, and a better fighter. And I'm going to stick with that prediction here today. Only thing that's changed is the weather for me. So I think Conor Benn is going to lose this fight, and Eubank will take home another unanimous decision.
Thank you. That was Tail of the Tape with Alexander the Great. Thank you, my bro. That was a great breakdown of that fight. I'm swinging to you, Vamp. Who do you think wins this fight? It's going down. It's going down. You got these, you know what I'm saying? These are rivals. These are real rivals. You know what I'm saying? You got Junior versus Conor Ben. You know what I'm saying? Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben is going down.
We go again, man. We go again.
Yeah, here we go again. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what you got?
Yeah. Oh, you are my guy, bro. Chris Eubank Jr. Got him, man. You go stamp a mud hole in his ass. However you say that, you can understand, bro. Whatever you want me to say, I'll say. Gonna kick his ass.
Talk to me, man.
Time, man. We got Bomac this time. Come on, man.
Bomac?
Come on, man.
Bomac's not in there. Bomac's not in there throwing punches. That's what.
No. We got Bomac. We got 12 rounds in the bank.
He's not in there throwing punches.
Yeah, no. I believe
Connor's saying, like, listen, this ain't the same Chris Eubank from the last time. This is the Eubank that got sent to the hospital. He got sent to the hospital. Yeah, he might have won the battle, but he lost the war.
Yeah.
You know he won the battle, but he lost the war. That's what Conor Ben is saying.
It's not gonna be easy, bro. It's not gonna be easy. I didn't say it's gonna be easy, man. That picture, I saw that picture. I said, "Yo, dog."
I was listening. I was watching everybody. Right, everybody was talking. Everybody is pro Chris. Right, I'm not, and I'm not mad at anybody. Everybody is pro Chris, but they're forgetting what happened in that fight. They're forgetting what happened in that fight. That fight was a fight. You know what I'm saying? And the skill level was different. You can see that the skill level was different. It's just the passion in this young man. The passion in this young Conor Ben.
You know when they both got in the ring, I'm watching Conor. I was like, oh shit! Like you've been waiting to do this your whole life. Like you can tell. Like Conor Ben wants to hurt this man.
Well, Eubank toys with this dude like a child. Like he will say 2 words and Conor Ben wants to fight. Like, but that's Conor's greatest strength and also his greatest weakness. His passion. His passion allowed him to go in there believing he can beat Eubank.
Was he like jumping in the air and swinging like in the first couple rounds?
Yeah.
Coming off his feet and swinging like shit.
Big right hand.
Like Alex was saying, it was his passion.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at that. I went in there thinking like, the bigger man was going to go in there, put the Paul spanking on him, and send him on his way. I end up finding myself cheering. You know what I'm saying? I actually threw the script away. I honestly was just cheering because the fight was just so great and so passionate. It was like one of those fights. It was just like you didn't care who won. You just I had a piece of paper. I started with every fight. I started with a piece of paper and a pen because I said, I'm gonna score this fight in case blah. You know what I'm saying? Threw the pen and the paper away. And just started watching the fight and cheering. I forgot who I was. Man, I didn't care. It was just a good fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a great boxing match. I'm with you, Mr. Newton. Yeah. It was just one of those.
It's always gonna be like that. Sorry to cut you, Troll, but like that, you're never gonna see a fight like that with that kind of history behind it. Those two guys do not want to lose to each other. Like they do not. That's why like it's all, none of them is gonna stay down. They're both ready to die in there. Like both of them, just because of what it means to both their legacy, their fathers, everything. You're just never gonna get that type of fight where both of them. You don't need a belt. They just really, really do not want to lose. So that's why the fire that's in Conor Ben is just like wow, because he could have got stopped, man. If you remember, towards the end of that fight, it looked like he was gonna go, but the spirit, like they wouldn't even hit the floor, neither of them, you know. You see Chris Eubanks' face after the fight, bro, they said he was touch and go in the ambulance, but in the ring, they won't even hit the floor, bro. So I reckon the only way, like, maybe somebody gets stopped is somebody gets dropped and they try to get up too quickly and the pride gets them, and then maybe the outside of that, they're just going all the way, bro. They're going all the way.
I was with these sons have benefited off their journey, the money they're earning, they could do it with their talent alone.
But they delivered though, Mr. Neutral, bro. They delivered the fight.
They definitely delivered. These guys definitely delivered. They made a lot of money, which they should have. You know, kind of got a little bit extra. You know, and bought a nice ride. I ain't mad at him for that. Shout out to Alexander the Great. We just want to thank you for coming through. Much love, much respect, and we'll see you next week. And we gotta get another tail of the tape because we got November 22nd coming on, so we definitely gotta get that. So shout out to my bro Alexander the Great. He working hard. You know what I'm saying? He working hard, so he gotta get back to it. Yeah, this fight right here, this is gonna be one of those ones. This is gonna be one of those ones, and I can't wait. It's gonna be excited. I was a little bit. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. I'm watching that fight back, and like I said before, he won the battle, but he was sent to the hospital. He was really took beating in that fight from the younger guy who had all this type of passion, all this vengeance in his heart. He had the egg smashed on him and everything. You know what I mean? He was sick and tired of feeling a certain way. He was sick and tired of feeling like people look down on him because he doesn't speak a certain way. He doesn't have a certain type of lifestyle, and he's not that educated and stuff like that. So he felt a certain way. He had a lot of a chip on his shoulder, and you can tell because he took a chip out of Chris Eubanks' face because he sent him to the ER. Do you think those effects from that fight will linger over to this? Do you think that fight and going to the hospital, the beating that he took, and that fight, win that fight, do you think that affected him a little bit, and we're going to see remnants? Will this be round 13?
Yeah, and that definitely puts it in Conor Benn's favor. It's a young man's game. And even after the fight, right, we didn't see Chris for a couple of weeks, bro. And then he was like literally out in the public and shit. Conor Benn was doing interviews the next day. Didn't he fly over? He done a tour, bro. He was there. He was at every fight ready to get. They said he went back in the gym, bro. He went straight back in the gym. So yeah, he was ready for the fight. I think they had a date before. It was meant to be in like October at some point. Chris pushed it back here. There's got to be a reason for that. And that, for me, swings it a little bit in Conor's favor. I'll still go with Chris, but that makes it definitely an even fight, man. Not necessarily even fight, but a compelling fight, man. I do rate Conor Benn. I wouldn't be that shocked if he did pull it out of the bag. But yeah, the fight's been a rematch, so close over. It's a young man's game, man. That's advantage Conor, I believe, in that side of things anyway. Chris has his advantages too.
I'm afraid of this one thing that's happening. Do you think the fight was so good, the first fight, that the second fight has the chance of being a stinker? You know what I'm saying? Because people's expectations, or just because these guys, just how they is, it's just going to be just, they're made for each other.
Of course. You look you see what I said before, maybe I shouldn't be saying it now. Just because of those two in the ring makes fire, just because of everything. It's impossible for it to be a stinker, bro. It's not gonna happen. Like both of them, their dads are gonna be there. The legacy they need, the Benns have never beaten the Eubanks. It's a rivalry, right? But the Nigel Benn didn't get a win over Chris.
He did, and a lot of people, even Chris, said that he won. You know, right. A lot of people, still, never gave him that nod. Well, he didn't get the nod officially. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is gonna be a big one, man. I can't wait. It's gonna definitely be turned up. Yeah, but after that fight, Vamp, it's me and you. We locked in. We're locked in. We're doing a watch along. We're doing a watch party. Me and you. We got some special guests coming through to chop it up with us. It's gonna be lit. You know, it's gonna be our watch along. And this is the card, November 22nd. We have the big 4 fights. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask you a question, right? Because I did a poll.
Okay.
I did a poll, and I'm gonna ask you the same question, and I'm gonna tell you who the winner was. Out of all the 4 big fights, what fight are you looking forward to the most? You see it right there on the screen.
Yeah, and I can only pick one.
Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. Abdullah Mason versus Noakes. You got Rodriguez, Martinez. You got Haney versus Norman Jr. You can only pick one. Which one are you looking forward to the most?
Haney and Norman Jr. Yeah, man.
Yo, you know that's funny that you say that because everyone, I did a poll, and everyone I asked, they all said Norman versus Haney.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, so I'm gonna ask you right now.
Yeah.
How do you think that plays out? You seen it right there. How do you think this plays out?
Joe, my head or my heart? Pause.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta give me both. You know
pause. Double pause. All right. Yeah, no, head saying, all right, cool. No, my heart saying Devin Haney, man. I like Devin Haney, man. I like how he's coming into the sport. I like how he's gone for the belts in all the divisions that he's been in. I was a bit like the Ryan Garcia thing was a little bit crazy. I don't really know how to really take that one because he did take a beating, but then the PEDs, whatever that was, the overweight, but he did also fight in between the beating that he took. He still managed to win several rounds, and then the Ramirez fight. The less said about that, the better. But I've followed Devin Haney's career quite closely, and I do want him to do well, man. He's done good things for a young age. I think he's not necessarily a role model, but I feel like if boxers look at kind of what he's done and kind of follow his kind of, or try to, then that means they'll be going for belts and trying to unify divisions, etc. Because he's getting in the ring with a champion, right? He's moving up.
Yeah,
that's my heart. My head, oh Lord have mercy. See the last fight, right? yo, that Japanese kid got stretched.
Yeah.
Stretched. That was one of them knockouts you're like, holy, you start questioning why you like the sport. That was one of them knockouts, like holy.
Like I told his dad, man. I was like, yo, every time, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like when people, a person get a couple knockouts. You know what I'm saying? And people start, just making them like he's the next one. You know what I'm saying? Out there a couple nights, like, oh, he's the next one. So like I told his daddy when I had an interview with him, because shout out to Mr. Neutral. Mr. Neutral has been really high on Brian Norman Jr. So, and I gave Mr. Neutral a hard time too. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but every time that I would, Brian Norman would knock somebody out in spectacular fashion and style on them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to say, yo, Trill, let me in the door, man. I'm really the truth, man. I got the goods, man. And, like I told his dad, like, definitely Mr. Neutral and the son put in the work, and they definitely made me a believer. I definitely think that Brian Norman, I really like the kid. And I've been checking him out even a little bit more, like his interviews and stuff like that. And I really like his personality, man. I dig the type of kid he is. But here's the problem. Devin Haney has something that I think that people are forgetting, like when it comes to when we talk about the history of boxing. There's been plenty of guys who've been big and strong and can punch. But those guys have all fell to one thing: experience. Devin Haney has the more experience, and people was giving David Haney slack for his fight with Ramirez, right? And when they asked me when this fight was first made, people asked me, Trill, who do you think will win this fight? Right? And I said in these spaces, I said that I think that Devin Haney can run away with this victory. No pun intended. Meaning that he can have a performance like he did against Ramirez. A lot of people were mad with that performance, but not I. And not another brother I got to mention, Jonathan Foreman. He mentioned it as also. The reason it seemed like people were disappointed because they expected Devin Haney to not be Devin Haney. Devin Haney and his team did their homework on Ramirez. They never allow Ramirez to set to be able to throw punches and stuff like that. I feel the same thing will happen in this fight with Brandon Norman. I don't think it will be one of the most exciting. The game is, because people talk about, oh, you know, Turkey won't invite him back. That's fine. But the name of the game is to win. You look good another time. The name of the game is to win. And I feel like, you know, he might go in there and, you know, try to box a little bit. He feel a little bit of heat. Devin's going to resort back to boxing. And I'm sure they're going to have a game plan which doesn't allow, you know, like Brian Norman to get off. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying on him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he's gonna come up with a certain game plan, because that's what they've been doing. They've been having great game plans. Devin is undefeated. We're not gonna count the loss to the cheat because it's not there if you look on his record. It don't count. It don't count. Once you cheat, it's not defeat. You know what I'm saying?
I hope you're right, bro. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, and I hope you're right. But
no, I feel like Brian Norman is a talented young fighter. I really do. I think he's a talented young fighter. I really do. I just think experience is going to play a part. And Brian Norman is the type of fighter that can learn from this type of fight.
You think so?
I think he will be able to learn from this type of fight. He's not going to be put in no punishment. I don't think he's going to take any punishment.
I can't see Devin avoiding him for 12, bro.
But I can see a Ramirez situation playing out. I can see a frustration situation playing out where Brian Norman gets a little frustrated because he's not thinking it's going to be what it's going to be.
You think Devin's gonna get his respect? He's gonna hit him enough times to get his respect? Or
I think forget getting his respect. We're talking about getting the win.
But I know, but I feel like
getting respect and getting the win is two different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I can't see him avoiding Brian Norman for 12 rounds without getting his respect.
That's what somebody said against the Ramirez fight. I remember the same fan saying this. I could pull up the tweet. Fan saying that it's gonna come a time where he's gonna have to fight against Ramirez.
Hey man, I hope you're right, bro. I hope you're right. I want Devin to win, bro. But I'm saying like, yo.
Yeah, but we will see. We will see. And maybe, you know what I'm saying, my views might change. You know what I'm saying? Closer.
I normally wait for the weigh-in. After the weigh-in, I look something in.
Exactly. It's almost time. We almost running out of here. Yo, if you had the ability to make any fight happen right now, Vim, if we was doing a card and it was like, yo, we got the bread for you guys, the Vamp and Trill show, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could put on the fight. What fight would you make right now if you had the ability to make the fight?
AJ versus Fury. AJ Tyson Fury, bro. That's what we need to close the chapter. We need to close the chapter on a generation of UK heavyweight boxing. You don't care what has happened. AJ versus Fury is the legacy fight that it breaks my heart that we won't see. But if we hit you want me to, you want a fantasy fight, and I do not understand why it's missed us, why it's eluded us. And like now there's nothing in the way. There was always something in the way of this fight. Now there's nothing in the way, and it still just can't happen. But that's the only that is the I think the world stops. The UK boxing world stops for that fight, and I think the boxing world stops for that fight.
What do you think about AJ and Wilder? Do you think that boxing world will still stop to watch that fight, even though Wilder's not the same person he once was?
The two. I don't think the boxing world will stop. That will still be a huge fight.
Huge fight, right?
Huge fight. But yeah, not like AJ versus
Yeah. I think that will bring him out. That'll definitely bring him out. Yo, I want to thank everybody that tuned in with me and Vamp, and shout out to Alexander the Great. He did the tail of the tape with Alexander the Great, man. I just want to thank everybody for tapping in with me. I really appreciate it from the heart. Shout out to everybody that was in the comment section. Shout out to Mr. Neutral. Shout out to Mr. Neutral, man. And don't forget to check out our show, episode 2 of Fight Night Chronicles, Moore versus Foreman. And also, if you didn't get a chance, check out the episode before that, and it was the Rumble in the Jungle. Yeah, me and Van, we got some things coming out. We got some things going on. Like I said, my Trill Freaky video is out right now, and you can download the song right now. All you gotta do is hit the Q code. You know what I'm saying? You hit the Q code right there, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap, and you're locked in with your boy. I got a new song out. It's called Savage. Savage, and the video will be coming soon. But a lot of people was like, yo, Trill, why you haven't played the song on the air? Why you haven't played the song on the air? So this is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm a real one and I keep it true. I'm going to play the song Savage before we get out of here, you know? And much love and much respect to everybody. You already know what it is. Vamp, let the people know where they can meet you and greet you and link with you at.
As you know, as I always say, same old shit. VXMP FKM on the X, VXMP Twitch, and you're gonna catch me on here more often very soon. We'll be locked in, man. Shout out to the people that's locked in from my side as well. I streamed this in from my channel as well. I see you lot in the comments.
Yeah. I seen all the love. Shout out to the love for Vamp. All the people came out for Vamp. I see it. Yo, this the funniest thing, man, because a lot of people go to YouTube to look at the joint.
Yeah,
people go on X, people go on Twitch, people go on everything. We got everybody locked in. So much love and much respect to everybody. This is Savage, out now on all streaming services. Video will be out this week. You know, that's how I'm rocking.
Yeah. Feels good. So, miss. Get it, Rose. This old man, he don't run. He play take that 100-round drum. But I love that click clack, don't get me in the zone. But one of you niggas won't be making it home. I'm about to spaz out, black out. Trills about to crash out. Mossberg 990, listening to Smash Mouth. Driving, smoking big blunt, shorty slurping big nuts. Left hand steering wheel, right hand on that big butt. I've been getting money lately, probably why these niggas hate me on the internet. Talking crazy like this shit gon' phase me. I've been counting chips, I've been taking trips. Jesus piece of masterpiece. I'm rude with the wrist, I'm rude with the whip. I'm so cookie crisp. I smell good, I dress good, I'm rude with the fits. Certified playboy, I'm smooth with the shit. Do a Houdini, disappear with your bitch. Nigga, I'm a savage, you want it, you can have it. Revolver automatic, metal or the plastic. Nigga, I'm a savage, bastard. I laugh at your casket, I'm coming for the carriage and cabbage.
Hot shit, mob shit, you ain't gon' stop shit. 762, get your niggas fucking wig split. Gun talk, knife talk, nigga, I don't wanna talk. I just wanna kill, leave your body outlined and chopped. I'm a zombie nigga, you don't wanna fuck with me. I have your bitch eat my kids like a real zombie. And I'ma swim in her ocean, turn it to tsunami. But I still beat your ass, make you run to mommy. I think you should know, your girlfriend is a hoe. I broke her fucking back and passed it to the bro. Nigga, you's a fraud, you never broke the law. You irrelevant as shit, just like some coleslaw. Pull up in that lamb truck, nigga, you can't hang with us. Your bitch get finesse, fuck, your gang extra gay sus. You ain't even savage, nigga, I pulled up with savage niggas. Beat you like I'm super nigga, y'all a bunch of stupid niggas.
Nigga, I'm a savage.